Working in collaboration with the American College of Trial Lawyers Task Force on Discovery, the Institute convened its first meeting in Denver to develop a plan of action to address the problems plaguing the nation's ailing civil justice system. According to Task Force Chairman Paul Saunders, the roadmap of our legal system, the rules of civil procedure, is in need of a major overhaul.
The rules that permit discovery were originally written in 1938 when the computer didn't exist, the copying machine didn't exist, the BlackBerry didn't exist, e-discovery didn't exist, and the rationale in 1938 was that broad discovery was going to facilitate settlement and expedite trials, result in much more efficient and effective trials. That clearly hasn't happened.
Meeting participant, U.S. District Judge John Kane, also shared his concerns.
We're using a process that is the functional equivalent of a Conestoga wagon on the information highway. What our legal system is doing today is obstructing traffic, obstructing information traffic, and we can't continue to do it.
The two organizations agreed that Phase 1 of the project should involve a survey of the college's members to help identify specific problem areas. Months later, the release of this survey prompted a wave of headlines that trumpeted concern over runaway cost and delay in the legal system. Meanwhile, the Institute and members of the task force were daring to dream of a bold new framework for reform.
I was intrigued that, well, maybe we can go back and we can rethink this and not be approaching the problem in terms of how can we tinker with the system here or there and make it better, but maybe let's just go back to square one and say, here is the situation we're faced with. What could we do to solve problems in the 21st century?
In the spring of this year, 29 principles were released in a report that addressed most of the problems highlighted in the earlier survey. The report concluded that the current system of pleading doesn't provide an efficient mechanism for establishing claims or setting limits on the scope of discovery, and that notice pleading should be replaced by fact pleading. It also asserted that discovery costs far too much and has become an end in itself, noting discovery should be limited by proportionality. Further, the number of experts and the process for deposing them can significantly drive up costs. Therefore, only one expert witness per party per issue should be permitted, except in extraordinary cases. Finally, rotating judges managing a single case can undermine clarity and consistency. The solution? A single judicial officer should remain with a case through its life cycle. But these principles were also developed to ignite an energetic and constructive conversation among the nation's thought leaders, including the 32 renowned civil justice system experts who attended the Institute's 2009 Civil Rules Summit.
The lawyers, the judges, the clients that are representing here today all feel like there are reasons to talk. They're coming up with potential solutions which may have to be experimented with in a variety of different jurisdictions. Oregon is one, Utah is one, Arizona is one, and I'm confident that the federal courts will start applying some of their own.
Change and the experimentation that comes with it was the focus of much of the discussion during the two-day conference.
I know that changes get made. I've been involved in making a lot of them. The frustrating thing about doing that is the extent to which people say, your change is radical and revolutionary and destructive, where it isn't really a big deal at all. I think the fact-gathering effort that your institute and other such organizations can provide is crucial to determining whether or not it's time to make more aggressive changes.
The event included a dinner featuring Judge Lee Rosenthal, who enthralled the audience with a quote from Professor Ben Kaplan, another champion of civil justice reform.
Can we imagine a research project in civil procedure under whatever auspices that at this particular stage of history might claim to have large importance or promise? It's a great question. It's our question. And then he says, what is needed, and he has the best phrase. We must do, quote, original research into dark places.
In her remarks to the audience, Institute Executive Director Rebecca Love Corliss captured the essence of the spirit of collaboration that permeated discussions throughout the event.
All of us here tonight are united by one common purpose. We care deeply about America's system of justice. We share concerns about its future, but we are committed to fixing its problems.
During the course of the summit, important relationships were strengthened, helping to further accelerate interest in the Rules Initiative and triggering a national conversation on system problems and solutions. Leveraging this momentum, the Institute is forging ahead with a host of new projects, including development of model rules to be piloted by a number of states, also conducting further research to pinpoint the sources of cost and delay, and continuing to engage key players in this crucial dialogue.
The Institute is extraordinarily grateful to the American College of Trial Lawyers for the role that they have played in the rules project in which the Institute is now deeply engaged. Additionally, we're grateful to the judges, lawyers, academics, and court administrators across the nation who have committed themselves to trying to solve these problems. We've finally reached a point where we're willing to say, this is not okay. We need solutions. Let's be thoughtful about the solutions. Let's be innovative. Let's be visionary. But let's find solutions. Perfection cannot be the enemy of progress. We have to start trying different ways of doing this.